Hey, welcome to the Broker Brat channel on YouTube. I am going to start out doing Wednesday stories. So, wacky stories every Wednesday from realtors or even consumers, buyers or sellers who have a crazy story that they want to share. So, if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe, comment below if you have a story that you want told, and I will get in touch with you and we will get it up. All right, so here we go. First story is going to be mine. And then every week it'll be somebody else that I interview. So, story starts with I'm representing the seller, and then we have buyers that come into that home. So, it's going to be seller A and then buyer B. So, the buyer Bs come into an open house that I'm hosting, and they love the house. They're going to buy it. So, they get in touch with their friend who's a realtor from 2 hours away. So, let's say 2 hours east of here. And so he's going to represent them. What he should have done was just taken a referral and referred them. But he picks an attorney 2.5 hours west of here, which means not in the same county, not in the same area. So that's a little background on the story. Let's see. We get to contract, everything's going okay. I have to tell that agent several times, because he just does it on the side, that's not something that I can do for him. It's a conflict of interest. He needs to get an addendum put together. So I'm kind of helping him through the process. And I'm speaking to the attorneys. And I said, don't we need wet signatures to convey? This won't be able to be recorded, will it? And the attorneys told me, no, we only need the seller's wet signatures. So your sellers need to sign their paperwork. They'll get an overnight package. Then they'll send it to us. And I said, well, it's not the way I know it to work, but you're the attorney and I'm a real estate broker. So I will defer to you. We get to closing day. Now, the people who are buying this home have relocated from a state up north, and they are borrowing and living in a camper mobile home at a camper site. So the attorneys have a notary come to their little camper and they sign all the paperwork. The notary scans that paperwork and is supposed to overnight it. The attorney sent her an overnight package. So when I find out that no, they need the wet signatures and it needs to be overnight, that's going to delay settlement and closing for a day. The buyer Bs go to our office to pick up the keys. Seller A says, no money, no ticky. If I don't get paid and it's not recorded, they're not getting the keys to the house. So doing the best for my clients, I have to say, I'm sorry, you can't have the keys until this records. And because you picked an attorney several hours away and it won't record till tomorrow, you can't get the keys till tomorrow. They came into our office. I happened to not be there. And they performed a sit-in for 2 hours. And any broker that came in the door, they told their story to. They yelled, they swore. There was a lot of drama that went into that. And every agent said, I'm sorry, that's a buyer agent problem. That isn't the seller agent problem. You need to talk to an attorney and you need to talk to your buyer's agent. So, long story short, they finally leave. Next day they come back or they call because they want their keys. They still can't get them because you know what? The notary didn't send the wet documents. She had an overnight package. She didn't send them. So now we're another day out. They're absolutely livid. They think that I've done the absolute worst because their agent basically said that that's what happened. So we finally get to the closing table. They went to New York to pick up all of their stuff and bring it back. And so we delivered the keys to the house so they would have it. And I heard that they were still very upset. So I took over a nice little package to welcome them to the area. And I was asked about what had happened. And I said, well, if you look in your offer to purchase, in the first section, you don't actually own the home until it records. It has to go through settlement. And so if they can't do that at the attorney's office because they don't have the paperwork, you don't own the home. She was so mortified at how she behaved because she had been told all along that this was all our fault. Then she tells me that they had broken into the screened-in porch and camped on the screened-in porch because they had nowhere to be. And there's a spigot outside that's hot and cold water, and they went out there and that's where they showered, and they were afraid to get caught. So I guess it all ends well, but the chaos and the confusion, basically the moral of that story is always get yourself a realtor in the area that you are going to purchase a home in, and try and find yourself a closing attorney in the same place. And I know all the other realtors out there understand that. So again, if you have a story, give me a little nod down below and I will get in touch with you, and we will feature you next week or another week on, I guess, Wacky Wednesday story time with Broker Brat. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.